What's going on, guys? Connor Hansen from Performance Training here with Adam Cook. We're going to riff a little bit about programming and some of the basics, especially if you've never started in the gym, if you've never really been in the gym before, where to start and kind of some things to think about as you move on. So what are some of the stuff that you've found to be effective with yourself and with your clients?
Well, training for the last 7 years, training clients for the last 7 years, and myself for about 15 or so, I would say. Gosh, I'm getting old. We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
The bro split, right?
Yeah.
Is that a good place to start?
Yeah. Go ahead and talk about the bro split and what that entails.
The bro split, it would be your chest and triceps.
Okay.
Monday, International Chest Day.
Yep, Monday
right?
chest day.
Back and biceps.
Okay.
And then a leg day. People throwing some abs in there, not necessarily.
Nobody throws in abs, let's be honest.
Well, they'll do abs, but not true core training, maybe, right?
True.
So the one good thing to take away from the bro split, I think, for a beginner is that a lot of the parameters of it are the 3 sets of 10 reps,
right?
Which is not a bad place for a beginner to start.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. If I would just plug in, I would even go 4 sets of 10.
Sure.
If somebody's starting in the gym, start with 4 sets of 10. My philosophy is the first set you're just kind of warming up, getting the central nervous system going. Second set you're working, but you kind of half A in it because you got 2 more sets to go, and then third set you really tear down the muscle, and the fourth set is where you hit like the fatigue, the really failure, where you force your body to grow.
Right, and if you found you maybe pushed too hard on that second or third one, you can back off and do another light set to kind of ingrain that pattern and really keep working it, right?
Totally.
So that's the bro split, and it has its merit, building some muscle for sure. You're going to target the same muscles throughout the day,
right? And it is synergistic. Chest and triceps are involved with pushing, right. So it has a decent amount of thought process, I guess, behind it.
Sure. So I kind of expanded on that, or I guess whittled it down for my own philosophy for a lot of years, training clients and myself with more of what I considered an athletic paradigm, which was the push day, pull day.
Yeah.
Full body push, full body pull, and that's just a 2-day kind of A-day, B-day type thing.
Okay.
That push day, you'd use the chest and the triceps, right? Any pressing movement.
Okay.
But you'd also include lower body pressing movements or pushing movements. So a squat pattern, right? So you have your upper body push pattern. Lower body patterns would include the squat, and then I would include a lunge on the push day.
Forward lunge, walking lunge.
Any variation.
Really
and it gives a lot of room to be creative. You can do a lot of variations of squats.
Yeah.
Variations on your pressing, so overhead, any bench, or like a push-up, and then dips. So you're hitting all your angles, right? You're up overhead.
Okay.
A horizontal press, and then a low press as well.
Cool. Then what's your other day like?
Then the pull day would have any upper body pulling, so your rows, your pull-ups,
okay.
Any hinge movements, right, from the hips for your lower body. So working deadlift, kettlebell swings, your barbell hip thrusts, any sort of a hinge pattern. And then I would include a twist or rotation.
On that day?
On the pull day.
Cool.
Yep. So the twisting really could go on either day, and lunging really could too, because on that pull day we're really looking to tax the posterior chain, right? So from your back muscles, the glutes,
right,
hamstrings.
With pulling, I feel like and lunges, depending on how you do your lunge, will determine kind of what muscle group is worked more. Emphasized, yeah. Sure. So if you're lunging forward, you're putting your weight forward and then kind of pushing yourself back up. In a way, I feel like that could be on your push day. But if you're doing a reverse lunge where you're kind of stepping backwards, then that mimics running a little bit more, and then it mimics like your front leg has to pull you back to position.
Sure.
At least whenever I'm trying to work the posterior chain and I want to do like a single leg movement, I'll do like a single leg RDL, which is a Romanian deadlift. Try them out, they're awesome. Or a single leg like reverse lunge with dumbbells or kettlebells or something.
Right. So. And then kind of coming full circle out of that push-pull split, I've kind of moved now. We've talked about I'm into this full body. Connor saw me attempting to get through a full body today.
With the 35 minutes that you had,
right?
You're trying to do.
And it's good. That could apply to any level of people that have been in the gym for however long, right?
Doing just a full body, try to hit everything going on.
So I'm doing that 3 times a week right now, which is
Cool.
great for a beginner.
Yeah.
And you mix it up with some advanced lifts the more advanced you are.
Yeah. So people that say that they don't have, I don't have time to go to the gym, start with 3 days a week for even 45 minutes.
Right.
And just try to get your intensity, to a decent point, and just train your full body 3 times a day or 3 times a week.
I think that's great.
That's a perfect way to start.
And if you can't get 3, do 2.
Yeah.
If you can't do 2,
Get 1.
yeah, it's better than none.
Can't get 1, take the freaking stairs. Like, people that say they don't have the time to work out, you just have to prioritize.
Right.
But
So
that's for another video.
That programming, that's maybe that's even more advanced than somebody that's barely getting into
Right.
it. So if we were going to really strip down fundamentals, where would you start?
So if you have to strip down fundamentals, for sure, when you first get into the gym, you got to start with some type of cardiovascular warm-up. Sorry about that. That was a speaker. You got to start with some type of cardiovascular warm-up, getting the blood moving, because most of us, I'd say like at least 8 out of 10 people have a sedentary job. They just sit all day, or they type on the computer, or they do like light office work. They're walking around, but nothing that keeps their body warm. And so to go from sitting and not getting a cardio warm up to try to like jump right into a gym with no warm up sets or anything like that.
And you go from your desk to your car.
Yep.
Sitting more to
You
the
go
gym.
to desk to your car where you sit, and then you go home and you maybe play video games, or you eat, or whatever. You were just stuck in the same position for the entire day pretty much. So I'd say start up with a good 3 to 5, even 10 minutes of a warm up cardiovascular. I like the elliptical because it's non-impact, gets the full body going. This is also a time to put in the headphones, get your mind right, because I'd say that lifting is 75% mental, if not more. If your brain's not into it, your body's not going to be into it. Your brain's gonna quit way before your body does.
Oh yeah.
And so a nice warm up. If you know of muscle imbalances that you have, stretch those out, roll those out. If you don't, just start an exercise.
Right. And if you are one of those desk people, I call it the anti-desk move, which is rolling out the upper back.
Yep.
Right?
Rolling out the upper back and doing, and I'm going to have a movement library that people can check out. Stretching the hip flexors, stretching the hamstrings, hip flexors, and chest are like the main muscles that get super tight when you sit at a desk for all day. And then just starting basic, I completely agree with what you have going on. And to take it even further than, push pull, I really enjoy the ways that you push. So like a horizontal push and a horizontal pull on the same day, a vertical push and a vertical pull on the same day, and then a quad dominant leg day, same type of pushing motions, forward lunges, squats, that sort of thing. And then a hamstring dominant day. This is if you have 4 days to work out.
Right.
Luckily I own a gym, so I have 4 days to work out. So, but yeah, I think pairing muscle groups together in compound movements, I think is the first place to start. Don't go into the gym and hit 5 sets of 12 bicep curls. If you want bigger arms, get on the rowing machine and row with your back, and then a synergistic muscle group is your biceps.
Yeah. So explain what a synergistic is.
Okay, so synergistic, you have your prime movers, and this is going to get super technical real quick. So you got your prime movers. Those are the muscle groups that are doing most of the work.
So your big muscles,
Your
right?
big muscles, like your chest, your lats, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. Those are like your prime movers. And then you have muscles that assist those prime movers. So like, let's say a bench press, the main muscle group, at least that should be working the most, is your pecs. But something that helps are your shoulders to stabilize, and then your triceps to get the last little lockout.
Sure.
And then with a back day or a pulling motion, the big muscle groups is your lats. And then some would argue rhomboids are another big mover, but I think they're too small to be a prime mover. And then your biceps
Yours
are
might be too small.
Oh, okay. So your lats are the main movement, and then with squats you have your glutes, and your hamstrings are kind of that big one, and then your abs and your psoas and those things, and your quads. Those other muscles tried to help stabilize, and they're still getting taxed, but not as much as the prime movers.
Sure.
So if you are new to the gym, quick warm up, 3 to 5 minutes. Foam roll, stretch if you can, if you know how, if you've had any instruction on that. Then pick a couple prime movements, compound movements that use more than one joint, like a bench press, a row, a pull-up, a squat, some of these big movements, and do those first for those parameters that we were talking about that are great beginner parameters, 4 to 10. And then once you get done with a couple of exercises that way, then you can move into the isolation, hit a couple biceps or triceps or shoulders or, something. Yep. But I feel like we have a lot of people that go from doing nothing and then they go and they do they isolate biceps or triceps or something.
Go right into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and machines, there's a time and place for everything. If you're trying to get fit, there's not really much use for machines.
Machines, no.
Body weight movements are going to give you a lot more. Those big compound movements.
Yeah.
Doing multiple joints, right? And if you are new to the gym and you have the means, man, finding a good trainer, right? If you know anybody.
I'm a trainer.
Goes a long ways because we've studied this stuff for years.
Yeah.
We've applied it in how many different ways.
Yeah. So many ways. Yep.
Have a mentor or somebody to teach you.
Yeah, the knowledge of it is huge. Yeah, so those are some basic ideas on programming, some places where you can start if you've never been in the gym before. I think that's a great place to start.
If any of that's over your head, or if you want to know something more detailed, right, reach out to us.
Yeah, shoot us a comment in the comment section down below. Like us and subscribe. It helps the channel a great deal. You can check us out on Instagram, Performance Training Utah. So Performance Training Utah, no spaces, underscores, anything like that. We also have a website, performancetrainingutah.com. And YouTube, Performance Training Utah as well.
All right.
It's just standardized across the board, so
easy enough.
Easy enough.